Hello, everyone. Let me see. Yes, perfect. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so let me just adjust YouTubers. All right, so welcome to another one of our midweek tango practices. And today we are following this path of that was generated by a question received last week. So the question was, what kind of textures would we hear for in music in order to add a cross? And I have a blog post that I've written and put up, and you can find it on the Bautans page or on Facebook or the actual blog. So bautans.com, and you go to Tango blog, and you can find the more extensive written form of what we're going to be exploring today. So today we'll be working on the music. I don't want to use the term musicality because it includes many other stuff and many different interpretations. So what we're going to do is we're just going to see how we're going to explore how we can filter the music through our movement and through our bodies, through our minds, because how we express ourselves through music is depends a lot on our personality, and we're basically going to attempt to find tools in order to do exactly that. Be able to express ourselves through the music, not necessarily through different movements, but through different textures. So I'm gonna start with putting the song we're gonna be working on. I'm gonna put the song on, and my suggestion is Comme il faut by Carlos de Sarli. And if you don't like the song, just choose a song that you like. Just make sure you don't change songs in between. So stick with one. Let's go. One, just dance, and we'll be back. Here we go. All right, play. turn that off. Okay, so here we go. After a short interruption from phone calls. Okay, so the idea is, and we worked on this last time, and I want us to refresh our memory, to identify the pauses as in transition moments, not times where we stop and we do nothing. And if you and you want to bring that up all the way into your body, not just the feet, because this is something. This is the moment where you hold the space, and that between you and your partner. So it is an important moment where you're building something. You're building a change. Okay, so let's come up with a simple, again, like choreography. We used the basic step last time, but let's use something else this time, just to make things a little bit interesting. Okay, so let's do a really basic pattern. You would be going forward and back. You can mix match. You can add side steps if you like. So I'm making this a little bit more improvisational. Rebounds. And rebound back, of course. And forward traveling ochos and back traveling ochos. So you can play with those three elements and notice what you do when there is a pause. So just reminding you, look for the pauses, and then we'll keep going. We'll add on to that. Look for the pauses, playing with those three elements. Let's go. All right, so quick pause. Okay, good. So you've probably noticed that there are also the pauses are, interestingly enough, in between where the structures suggested by the music are changing. You'll notice there's structures that are more linear. They're asking for more linear movement, and we can have that, not necessarily in a straight line, like we can have perceived straight lines. Let's put it that way. So it doesn't mean that you need to keep everything square, but the intent is a straight line, straight. And then there are structures that are circular progressive. So it is, you'll probably notice that there are the violins that come in, but there's still an underlying strong bandoneon or piano, and it calls for possibly something like this, or if you are pausing, it starts to bring in that circular texture. So, and then you have just circular, and it can call for a giro, it can call for a specific embellishment, something. So you'll notice that the pauses are in between. So now let's bring in that cross into our little improvisational choreography. And whenever you feel ready, you can either cross to shift the weight or shift the weight in this way. It's just a shift of weight. You're going to be changing from one foot to the other foot, but this has a twist to it. It has a little gentle twist. So if I come a little bit closer, and you can try this with me. We cross the legs, and inevitably we have a little bit of a twist. So let's just try this without any music. And intent number one, give this a more linear direction, as if after this there is a step that you want to have it look like a straight line. And take a step. Let's try it again. So you're here, you're crossing one leg over, so there is a little bit of a circle here, right? You need that time, so this happens usually during more pause in the movement, in the music. But your intent is to go back to straight lines. Let's go, all of it together. I'm not going to give you any cues, just find it. Set your intent. Two more, here we go. Linear intent. Now, circular intent following the cross. You have a little circle building up from here. Back. Oops, sorry, I stepped out of the camera. Here we go. So, you have a little circle, a little twist building up here. Circular intent following. Let's go again. Circular intent following. So notice how this feels. Now the cross feels different because your intention for afterwards is different. Okay? All right? Yeah? A couple more. I think this is quite obvious. Okay. And now let's go back to linear, but maybe you want to spice that line up. So now it's not just a matter of structure, but it's a matter of getting this maybe drilling energy into that line. Let me turn this way so you can see. This is my way of expressing that. Maybe you will find, hopefully you'll find yours. But what I found is that this has a little bit of a drilling energy, and maybe I can use it in my step. So it's still a linear step, but it has a different taste to it. Let's go. Okay. Something that you take from the cross and you put it into your step. You take it from your cross and you put it into your step. Maybe it has a little bit of spice, a little bit of embellishment. So it might be something like a lighter step. I don't know, just something that you get from this cross, and then you can put it into your step. You get from this cross, put it into your step. And of course that relates to the music as well, but it has a lot to do with you. So notice as we're doing this, what does this feel like? If I was to put some words to the music, like comme il faut, it's almost like, it smells like spring. So I would like to do something like this, like what we're doing now, like spring. Like it has a little breeze to it. But it's also, you know, other moments, it's more spicy, but still sweet. Okay? So, all right. No more without the music. It's much more difficult if you're doing it without the music. So, I'm going to put the music on. Three layers. Layer 1. You identify linear, circular, progressive, circular structures. And you identify the in between, the transition. So how you go from one to the other. Use that, and the in between you use either a cross or a shift of weight, feet parallel. And then we have what follows after. Linear, circular progression, or circular, just going around. And then the last layer is, what does that feel like? So maybe, yes, you're doing a linear step, but you're getting a taste. You're putting a taste to it. What does that taste like? What does that smell? If it had a smell, what would it smell like? Stuff like that. Don't panic. One layer at a time. Okay, here we go. One layer at a time. And there, play. Okay, pause. All right, so let's keep on going. So let's go back to our basic step because we all know it. I wanted us to spend a little bit of time just playing with what we can come up with. So let's see it now on a specific step. Why we're doing this? We're doing it because usually we learn sequences, and that's a good thing. That's a, we need some building blocks. So I'm sure you have a lot of building blocks in your pockets, and you want to start playing with how those building blocks can match and change a bit depending on the song. So let's start with a building block that we all know, or most of us know. So let's start with a building block with the basic step just being a building block. And we're gonna have we're gonna use the same pattern. Back, back. You can pause here if the music calls for it. Back, back, pause. And now you have all these options. You can go linear back. You can go circular progressive, and you can add haste. Side. Another moment to pause, but this is more side to side, not with a cross, and forward again, side, and we start over. So we'll be doing the full box step unless you want to break it up for your own purposes of managing the space. Now, for leaders, you start going back, side. Here is a moment to pause. You can add those embellishments if you like. Forward, forward. Either shift like the weight like this or cross. Up to you. Forward, side, feet together. Another moment to pause. This is usually not a moment where we cross, but you can if you like. And back to start over. Okay? Let's go on the music. Try to match those pauses and play with those qualities. Let's go. One last time. Pause. Okay. Add some texture to it. So now we've been playing with this song for quite some time. I'm just going to give you an example. By no means this is not a suggestion. This is just my list. What I feel. So sorry. Words that come up are dynamic, powerful, passionate, spicy, flowery. I think I already said that it smells like spring. It has a breeze to it, and it tastes like a sweet spice. All this just came from the music, but just for me. So maybe you have come with your own list, or maybe there's no list yet, but that's okay. So, but try to capture feedback from those sensations. Try to listen and capture that. Capture what comes up, what taste, what feel, how does that feel on your skin? If it had a smell, what would it smell like? Okay, so and use real words, not oh good, bad. That doesn't help. I'm gonna put it on again, one last time for today, and let's try to capture those sensations in our movement. Here we go. Play. All right. So this good. So this was it for today. You can understand we started very more specific and objective, and we ended up with a much more subjective result. And that's how it is. We are people, and everything that we receive, we respond to it differently. So that's I think where the dialogue begins. And sometimes, we're compatible to have that conversation with our partner, and sometimes we're not. So, sometimes it's a good experience, sometimes it's a bad experience, but that's okay. The great news, though, is that there is a huge space for every one of us to find our personal taste. So and express ourselves with the same movement, the same vocabulary, but with different textures. So this was just an idea, a very quick idea, because in 30 minutes you can't possibly capture everything, but a quick idea of how you can start exploring. And I hope that this gave you something to explore further. So yes, thank you very very much. If you want to hear from me more regularly, join me at bautans.com. And coming up, we'll have a tango and mindfulness workshop. So it is going to be I'm going to be posting, so keep an ear and eye out for that. It's going to be a free event, so you can call friends, family if they want to join, and you do not need to know tango to join. So, but it will be tango based. So watch out for that. Is coming. Information is coming very very soon. Thank you again. Stay safe and keep on dancing. Bye bye.